The Purity of Love at NYU. Chapter 1. First Encounters. New York City had a rhythm that never slept. The streets around Washington Square Park buzzed with street performers, taxis, and the endless chatter of students spilling from lecture halls. Among them was Peter Sokolov, a 21-year-old Russian exchange student at New York University's Tandon School of Engineering. He was deep into artificial intelligence research, neural networks, machine learning, and algorithms that promised to reshape the world. For Peter, numbers and logic were home. He had grown up in Moscow, where success meant proving yourself through intellect and ambition. Love was secondary, distracting, messy, unreliable. Until the afternoon he walked into the library of NYU's College of Arts and Science. He was there to pick up a book on computational modeling when he saw her. She sat at a wooden table near the tall windows, a thick organic chemistry textbook open in front of her. Her dark hair was tucked neatly under a soft scarf, her almond-shaped eyes fixed on her notes with intense concentration. She was unlike anyone Peter had ever met, modest in dress yet radiant in presence. When she looked up, their eyes met briefly. He felt something stir, something that no algorithm could explain. Later, he learned her name was Aysulu Beketova. She was 20, born in the US but raised in a Kazakh family that held tightly to tradition and faith. Her parents, living in Queens, checked on her daily. For them, their daughter's honor was sacred. She was Muslim, disciplined, cautious, and yet, as Peter would soon discover, her quiet strength had a gravity he could not resist. Chapter 2. Two Different Worlds. Over the next weeks, Peter found excuses to linger in the same spaces. Sometimes the chemistry building, sometimes the park near NYU's famous arch. Slowly conversations began. At first, they were about academics. He explained how machine learning could train models to think like humans. She spoke of catalysis, of how molecules interacted in ways that mirrored human choices, tiny reactions, leading to large consequences. But beneath the academic talk lay something else. A tension, a connection. Peter came from a world where parties and casual flings were normal. Many of his Russian classmates in New York lived lavishly, attending rooftop gatherings in Manhattan where vodka and champagne flowed freely. Aysulu came from a world of structure, prayer, and clear boundaries. Her parents called often. "Have you prayed? Are you eating halal food? Do you stay away from harem places?" Yet, despite these differences, Peter found himself drawn closer. She wasn't just a girl. She was a mirror reflecting what he lacked: discipline, purity, clarity of purpose. And though she resisted, though she reminded herself of her parents' warnings, Aysulu found herself softening too. His sincerity felt different from the others who pursued her. Chapter 3. The Invitation. It was a chilly Friday evening in October when Peter's wealthy friend, Dmitri, cornered him after class. "Tonight, Manhattan. Penthouse on Fifth Avenue." Dmitri grinned. "Drinks, music, the usual. You're coming." Normally, Peter would have agreed without hesitation. But something stopped him. He thought of Aysulu. For once, the idea of going alone felt empty. That evening, he found her near the chemistry lab. Nervously he asked, "Aysulu, would you come with me tonight? There's a party. Friends of mine. I don't want to go without you." Her eyes widened. "A party?" Her voice carried both disbelief and fear. "Peter, you know I can't. Those places are filled with alcohol, with things against my faith." He swallowed. "Then come under one condition. No one will offer you a drink." "I swear. I won't let it happen. If you feel uncomfortable, we leave. Please just come with me." She studied his face, looking for cracks in his promise. At last she whispered, "Only if you protect me from it." If even once I am asked to compromise, I will walk away. Peter nodded firmly. I promise. Chapter 4. Manhattan Nights. The penthouse overlooked the glittering skyline of Manhattan. Inside, the music pulsed, laughter echoed, and glasses clinked. Russian expats, wealthy and reckless, mingled with American socialites. Bottles of vodka stood like trophies on polished counters. But Peter never let go of Isolu's hand. When someone approached with a cocktail, Peter blocked them. Not for her. His tone left no room for argument. When others teased, he shrugged them off. To everyone's surprise, he disappeared with her into a quieter room away from the chaos. The study smelled of leather and old books. They sat together on a couch, the city lights spilling in through tall windows. For the first time, they were alone. She asked about his AI projects, fascinated by how machines could learn. He asked about her chemistry experiments, amazed at her dedication to understanding the invisible structures of life. Time melted. The noise outside faded. But inside Peter burned. Her presence was overwhelming. The curve of her smile, the softness of her voice, the innocence in her eyes, it was too much. He leaned closer, his breath uneven. I can't resist, he whispered. I want to kiss you, to feel you. I don't know how to stop myself. Isolu froze. Then, gently but firmly, she placed her hand on his chest. Peter, she said softly, what you feel is not just desire. In Islam, we believe purity carries its own energy. Perhaps you are drawn not to me, but to the light of a clean soul. That is Allah's gift. And everything is in His hands. Her words pierced him deeper than a kiss ever could. Shame and awe flooded him at once. For the first time, he understood that what he wanted was not her body, but something far greater, her soul. And so, nothing happened that night. No kiss, no betrayal. Only two souls learning the language of respect. Chapter 5. Flowers and Intentions. Peter hardly slept. The next morning, he walked to a flower shop near Union Square. He chose white lilies, symbols of purity, and carried them to Isolu's dorm. When she opened the door, she gasped. These are for you, he said. But I didn't come only for you. I want to meet your parents. I want to ask them officially to let me be your boyfriend. Not in secret, not in shadows, but with honor. Her hand trembled as she touched the flowers. Do you mean this? Do you know what it means to ask them? Yes, Peter said without hesitation. I want to be worthy of you. Tears filled her eyes. Then her voice turned firm. Then know this. I cannot be with a man who does not share my faith. My husband must be Muslim. Without that, my parents will never accept you. And neither will I. For a long moment, silence filled the hallway. Then Peter answered, steady and sure. Then I will become Muslim. Chapter 6. The Path of Faith. At first, Peter thought of conversion as a step for love. But when he met with the Imam at a mosque in Brooklyn, something shifted. The Imam explained the Shahada. La ilaha illa Allah. Muhammadan Rasul Allah, there is no God but Allah. And Muhammad is his messenger. It was simple yet profound. Peter studied. He learned about prayer, fasting, charity, discipline. And slowly, he realized he had lived without true direction. Faith gave him clarity. When he finally recited the Shahada, Isolu was beside him. Tears ran down her cheeks as the Imam embraced Peter. You are now our brother, the Imam said. And soon, inshallah, her husband. Chapter 7. Meeting the Parents. The evening Peter went to Queens to meet Isolu's parents. His hands shook with nerves. He carried flowers for her mother, and respect in his posture for her father. At first, they were wary. Who was this Russian boy who wanted their daughter? But as Peter spoke of his studies, of his conversion, of his desire to honor their traditions, their skepticism softened. Finally, Isalu's father nodded. If you have embraced Islam with sincerity, and if you treat our daughter with dignity, then you are welcome in our family. Chapter 8. A Wedding and a Future. The nikah ceremony was modest but beautiful. Surrounded by close friends, classmates, and family, Peter and Isalu exchanged vows before Allah. For Peter, it was not only the beginning of marriage, but of a new identity, no longer just Russian, no longer just a student, but a husband and a Muslim. Months later, an opportunity came. A research institute in Saudi Arabia sought specialists in AI and chemistry for a sustainability project. For the newlyweds, it was perfect a chance to build both their careers and their life together. They moved to Riyadh, where mornings began with prayer and evenings ended with laughter. In labs filled with equations and experiments, they pursued knowledge side by side. At night, Peter would look at Isalu and remember that first party in Manhattan, the night he nearly lost control, the night she reminded him that purity is power. Epilogue. New York University had brought them together. A Russian boy chasing algorithms, a Kazakh-American girl guided by faith. Two worlds that should have clashed, but instead intertwined. Peter once believed in logic above all. Isalu believed in faith. Together they proved that love built on respect, purity, and conviction could overcome even the deepest divides. And under the desert skies of Saudi Arabia, their story continued not as a fleeting romance, but as a destiny written by Allah.